I'm going to show you one of the ways that I use AI in tutoring elementary school children. This example that I've got here, one of the girls is a sixth grader in North Carolina, and she gets these science packages. They don't use books anymore. And this is a typical example out of a packet that she is using right now on the rock cycle. And look at this. The reaction with oxygen. Oxidation is the process that causes rust. So just like a chain can turn to rust. Like, what? And the whole thing is like this. So I have to find ways to help her understand the material on my own. And I use AI to do that, and I'm going to show you one of the ways I do it. This is my WordPress website where I make study guides to use with the kids. And this is WordPress. I use theme 2025 just because it's simple. And I'm going to use Claude to help me make these lessons. You see, these are some that I have made to use as study guides with the kids. So in Claude, you can make a project. And I started this website working with math enrichment for a fifth grader, but then I tutor other kids, and it was so easy to do that I started using it for all kinds of study guides. And in Claude, if you set up a project, you create the project, and you can give it instructions that you can refer to anytime you use this project. You can also upload files. And today I'm working on sixth grade science lessons. So I uploaded the PDF of the North Carolina standards for sixth grade science, so I can refer to them when I give Claude instructions. So these are the instructions that I gave Claude. I told him to use the North Carolina sixth grade science standards, and looking at the instructions that he gave me on the previous activity, make a web page activity that will be a soil formation simulator and show the students how to build soil layers. And if you have an example of something that you like that he's already made, it's a good idea to include that. So since I liked the last thing he did, I included that. So he tells me what he's going to do, and like 5 minutes later, he's got it done, and he explains to me what he is going to give me. So he's made a soil formation simulator. He describes, this is what's in the simulator. Gutenberg blocks. These are the standards it aligns with. These are the key features. The educational design. What the user experience will be. And then he tells me how to upload it. And he has teaching suggestions. So I take his files and I follow his instructions. So one of the files he gave me is this soil formation simulator. It's an HTML file, and he told me to upload that into the media library. And then the other file, here in WordPress, these three dots, you can either use a visual editor or a code editor. So he told me go to the code editor, name the page, and name it here. And then he gave me this text to just copy, paste, and paste in. And then because I want this to pull the HTML file that's in the media library, he told me to get that link and find in here. He had a placeholder here and told me to get the link from the media library for that file and paste it in there. So that's what I did. And then here's what the page looked like. It's got the learning objectives, what is soil, 5 soil formation factors, and then instructions for this activity. And then here's the activity. So you choose your parent material, a climate, a time period, vegetation, and topography. And then you build your soil. And it will tell you the quality of the soil. And I don't really like the way this looks. This took maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get to this point after I gave Claude the instructions, but I don't like how it looks. So I'm going to go back and tell him to make changes. So I go back to Claude and I tell him the top of the page before the activity is not well formatted. There are different font sizes and it just doesn't look good. It also takes up way too much space before the activity. So I ask him, can you modify this? So he changes it. Then he tells me what he did, what the changes are, and gives me a new file to put in the code. So I'll copy the file, and let's see, when I download the file, here's what I get, and he's got instructions. It tells me to put this in the code editor, and it starts here. So I'll just copy this, starting here, down to here. So copy, find my page, here it is. Replace what was there, and now let's see what it looks like. Oh, I'll go ahead and leave this mistake in there. I forgot that I have to put the URL in. So I go to the media library, click on my soil simulator, copy the URL. Then I go back into here, find the place, see, there's this placeholder. Your media library URL goes here. So paste that in. Did I make a mistake? Left the Y in. Save it. Go back here and refresh. And now it's pulling the right thing. So it changed the look of the page for me. It's kind of wide here, so I could several back and forth to get it exactly the way you want it to look. Yeah, I still don't like this. So I'm going to suggest some changes. I'll go back to Claude and tell him that is much better. You can't edit by yourself. Just go in and edit the HTML. I still don't like the looks, the instructions and information. Can you put into cards or something? Like boxes? And we'll see what he does. And unlike working with staff, Claude doesn't get tired of you asking for changes. So about 5 minutes later, Claude comes back, tells me what he has done. He explains it to me and then gives me the file to download. So I'll copy this. Down to there. And here's the instructions if I needed them, but it's all the same, so I don't. And this time I will remember to go get my URL. Right here. I search on HTML so I don't have to read all that code. Save it. And now let's see what it looks like. And I can go in myself and make the page not so wide if I want. Now this looks better. It's just neater. And then one more little trick I'll show you that I use. Go back to Claude and I'm going to say I want a nice looking HTML that I can print as a PDF to go with this as a handout. Please put CSS that will allow me to add page breaks if needed, and give me the code for page breaks. So we'll see what he makes. So he finished, and then he tells me what's in the handout, and I can see it over here. This is nice. I'll use this. Yeah, I did not know what these meant. See, I know the math, but that's about the only subject I know, so I need help on tutor and the other stuff. So you can download it as an HTML and open it with a, get to my, where I can reach things. Open it with Notepad++ or some other text editor. It's in my downloads. And then I'll save it. So now I open it, and then Control P to print, and I can see where I want page breaks. Yeah, I probably want a page break right here. And so I'll go to my Notepad++ and find, I want to look for the 5 soil formation factors. And I've got to go to Claude and get my code for a page break, because I should know it by now, but I don't. Here. So 5. And I want to put a page break in here. And now I've got to save it and open it again so I can check the page breaks. And that's just you just go through till you've got the page breaks where you want them. So Control P. This looks good now. And I'll put a page break there, so you get the idea. And then when you get the page breaks where you want them, just print it as a PDF, and you've got a nice handout to go with this. So I fixed all the page breaks in here, put them where I wanted them, and it looks pretty good now. Reflection questions and key vocabulary. And it even puts in which science standard it is, and puts a copyright on for me. So then print as a PDF. So feel free to use our website. We've got a lot of different things on here. We've got math enrichment, which is what this started out to be. We've got Greek mythology, because one of the grandkids is interested in that, and when she doesn't have homework, we work on Greek mythology activities. And then I noticed that not having the vocabulary really stumps the kids in math. So I've made some math vocabulary flashcards and quizzes. And they're all the different categories of math in here. And I just tell Claude, these are flashcards, that I want examples of like what the root word means. And then I want regular English words they might know that have the same root, just to help them learn the vocabulary of math. And then I've got a math vocabulary quizzes that go with each of those. I have not made this yet, but I'm going to. Historical number systems. This is the 6th grade science we're doing right now, Earth systems. One of the kids is a 1st grader, and he's studying the solar system. So we made these activities for him. And I just explained to Claude what I want, and then he makes it. Here, we've got easy, medium, and hard. On hard, you have to put the asteroid belts where they go. And like I said, it takes maybe 10, 15 minutes to make one of these activities. For the 6th grade science, this is the most complete thing. I'm not done with it. I'm just trying to stay up with where she's at. But we've got different activities for the things that she's learning in 6th grade science. Test yourself, quizzes. So this is a real help for tutoring. And I would imagine it'd be helpful to teachers too.